if you're there, first of all, what's up, everybody? This is the Jedi. If you're there, try to let me know. I know that it is a ridiculous hour right now all across the country, and I literally needed to speak right now. Um, I don't know how to see the chat. Um, and I almost did this as a recorded video. Um, but if I do it as a recorded video, you won't see it right now. Today is Tuesday, which means you won't see it until later today or something like that. Excuse me. So I chose to do it now. Um, Forgive my appearance. Okay, I see Light Bearer. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, good evening, good day. Happy Tuesday. I saw somebody else. I don't know how to make it come back. How do I see this damn chat? Oh. Haha! Allahu Akbar. Light Bearer, I see you. Black Beauty, I see you. Thank you, and thank you. Thank you, Light Bearer. I love you all. I love you. Um, 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 Lightbearer, what is StreamYard? Uh, all messages you send will appear publicly. Yes, Lightbearer, share. And in fact, even people that are watching this live, or if you have the unfortunate experience of seeing this after I'm done and just a recorded video, anytime I'm on live, you guys start sharing. First of all, thumbs it up. You have to thumbs it up, because thumbsing it up somehow does something, and then more people know that we're on live, and then you get more people that come in that know that we're live right now. So thumbs it up and share it. Definitely thumbs it up and share it. Um, so as of now, it's just me and the ladies, and I'm not mad at that. If you will have me. Um, can you guys hear me okay and all of that? And forgive my this is one of my garments that I just lounge around the house in, you guys. So I'm wrinkled. We gonna look. We'll just act like that's not happening. Um, and and I'm not trying to be the genie in the bottle. No soy mohini atrapado. I'm just the Jedi. Lightbearer, you said you can go on more platforms easily and see chat. Okay, I will. We will discuss that. Uh, we'll discuss that. Um, because anything that I can do to expand my reach is it's the most important thing to me. Because as I always tell you guys, I'm here to 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 share what comes out of me with all of my people across the diaspora. If I could be seen right now in every country in Africa and every state in this country and all of that, speaking to us, Us. Um, as you could imagine, I'm very tired. A quick note, you guys, too. I just found out on Friday that I have a fractured shoulder. So there's that. My shoulder's been bothering me for quite some time. Um, at least a couple months, and I never remember to mention it to my doctor. Like even just to if just to have my arm on my body is a problem. Like when I'm standing or if I'm sitting from the car driving, I have to be leaning on something. Or I have to have it on my lap. Something otherwise it radiates from front to back, and then also it feels like I have a crook in my neck. If it not but as soon as I do this, then I feel it in my shoulder, not necessarily my neck, and then all down my arm it throbs, and then my fingertips on this hand feel like I have pins sticking in it. So I finally remembered to mention it to my doctor, and he sent me for X-rays. I don't know whenever, and they just called me on Friday and told me that I have a fractured shoulder. So I'm walking around with a fractured shoulder, and I didn't even know it. And worst of all, I don't know how I got a fractured shoulder. I haven't fallen. I haven't run into anybody. I'm not a senior citizen. I how do I have a fractured shoulder? And I asked them. I said, "Are you sure?" Because back in 1987, I broke this collarbone, and I had to wear a brace, which had me walking around like this because it was pulled. So you walk around like this. And so I was like, I have a previous injury. So are they sure it's not that they're looking at on the X-ray? Because that I can't. And they said no. They see that there's that, but this isn't that. They said I have a fractured shoulder. But then they just kind of left me hanging. I'm like, so then what do I do now? What do I do next? I don't even know what to do next. So I'm supposed to see my doctor on Thursday, but I called today or yesterday, whenever, and I was like, what do I do now? Because I Googled it on, how do you treat a fractured shoulder? And it said, I don't remember, something about, I feel like it mentioned something about a sling, that's what it is, a sling. So I'm probably going to be wearing a sling pretty soon, you guys. It's so bizarre because when it first started giving me problems, I thought, well, maybe I slept wrong or something, and I'm a very consistent person, so I usually can do pathology and go back and see what did I do, what. That's why I don't do haphazard stuff, because I can always trace my life, and I can't find anything. So I'm very interested to know how it is I have a fractured shoulder. Where is it fractured? How bad is it fractured? What what? So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. um, thank you, light bearer. I don't think I look gorgeous, but if you think so, that's all that matters, my queen. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Let's see, and this is also good because I can also read you guys' comments in real time, so I'm not really missing out. I mean, I don't know how long this live stream will last because, like I said, I didn't do my research. I don't know what this does to my data. I don't know anything. I don't know anything. But damn it, we just gonna ride it till the wheels fall off. That's what we gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Good morning and good Tuesday, GL. Says maybe you fell off the bed in your sleep. I love that, but I didn't. um, I kind of almost wish it was that. At least I would know. Oh, that's what happened, but I don't. um, but no, I did not fall off my bed in my sleep. Uh, okay, and thank you, Black Beauty, for checking back in and let me know that you can hear me. I asked you all that. And I remind everybody, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, because that's how whatever the algorithm is or whatever on YouTube, when you thumbs up the live stream, uh, it's it like I there's there's channels that I follow, and well I see that when they do live streams they keep saying that, that's where I learned that if you thumbs it up during the live stream, then it lets more people know that we're here. So I'm just repeating what I heard. So I'm not going to hold you guys hostage. I'm going to get right into what we're talking about, because when I've seen people's live streams where I don't know they're live, and then I come in and they've been on for a while, and then I can just click back, and it'll, I can just go back while it's live. So whatever. And but here's what I came to talk about. Today is Super Tuesday, everybody. That's what they call it. This is for the Democratic nomination. This is the day when a third of the pledged delegates can be earned. And essentially, this is when you should end up with the person who's like far and away, like nobody would be able to reach them after this. But Saturday, you had the South Carolina primary. And then on Sunday, which it wasn't supposed to be Sunday, but they moved it up. They moved it to Sunday. This commemoration of the 55th anniversary of the Bloody Sunday that happened in Selma, Alabama, when they marched across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. There was the movie, Selma. And I spoke to you in my last video at my disgust at our people. And I'm so stressed out. You guys that have been with me, I tell you, I wish I was one of those people that when I'm stressed, I turn to food. I'm the opposite. I can't eat when I'm stressed out. It's difficult for me to do anything. When you know something and there's no way for you to tell anybody, you feel trapped. I don't know about you, but have you ever had that dream where something was happening to you and you were trying to run but your feet won't move? Or you had a dream where something was happening to somebody and you were trying to yell at them but no sound came out? This is that, Thank you, Light Bearer. I also love this because you guys know when I'm even in any of my videos, I speak to you. So sometimes I'm asking you questions. I speak to you when I speak. So this I love because you can answer me right now. I love that. I love that. So, um, it, this is that for me. Because, they say ignorance is bliss. And over my lifetime, there's a little tiny piece of me, very tiny, that wishes I could just be regular, uninspired, not paying attention, not seeing what's in front of me and around me and the environment, because it would save me a lot of stress. But I always tell you, the happy Negro is the ignorant Negro. Any of our people you see walking around like everything's wonderful, they are a problem. I've given you the analogy in the past of the wife who puts on her negligee and fixes the best meal for her husband so that when he gets home he can have a great meal. She's happy. Until she finds out that he's sleeping with every heifer in the neighborhood. Gone is the negligee. And that hot plate of food is now going to be thrown in his face, you see. Knowledge equals action, certainly a reaction, at the very least. And so I have a reaction, but I'm frustrated that I can't act, that I'm powerless. I called, again, I've been calling that pastor that I told you guys to call in Arizona, was it, you guys? Finally got a secretary. Left my number for him to call me back. The audio of that is on here, but I can't play it for you. I'll have to play that in a recorded video. And I only got the last portion of it, whatever. But I called. I also have been trying to call the office of Bakari Sellers. Interesting that his last name is Sellers because he's a sellout. And who else did I call? I got a really nice secretary. Who was it? It escapes me. But I believe in holding people's feet to the fire. I'm the one who, if I'm in the same room as you and you fart, I'm going to point you out. That's who did it. That's who did it. But you need to know that I'll begin with Saturday. Leading up to Saturday, really. Leading up to Saturday and into Saturday. I said to myself, I knew I was going to see, if I just turn the channels, I'm going to start seeing nothing but black pundits and correspondents. I knew I would. And of course, I was right, because I know the puzzle. So, if you know your shoes are in your closet, you know they're in there. It's not that, oh, look, I'm amazing. It's just, no, I know where I put my shoes. I know. I know this environment, and I know this devil. And I knew that I was going to see black faces plastered all over the TV. I saw correspondents I never saw ever. Back when Obama ran, even. That's how I was introduced to Jamal Simmons and Michelle Bernard. She is a goddess, by the way. Oh, my God. Michelle Bernard and Jamal Simmons. I never knew they existed until 2008. This is that. Suddenly, I saw black people up on panels on CNN and MSNBC and Fox that I never saw in my life. Even after the last debate, I saw some 3-year-old sitting up there with he's major somebody of CNN and some other white seasoned people, but he was a 3-year-old and spoke like this. There he was, great suit, he looked fantastic, but he sounded like some bullshit. And I go, he's 3. What's he doing sitting up there? But every time they go, we're going to go to so-and-so, and then there's somebody out there with the mic somewhere in another state. It's somebody black that I never saw. They're rolling out all these black people. You'll remember that before the presidential race ever even started, Joe Biden had even announced, and they were claiming he was high in the polls. He was leading in every poll across the world, including the Antarctic and the Arctic vortex, and he hadn't even announced that he was running. But yet he was leading in the polls. Hadn't even announced he was running. He gets into the race. He's a total disaster the entire time. Then comes Iowa. He comes in 5th. New Hampshire, he comes in 5th, damn near. Nevada, he squeaks out a very distant second to Bernie Sanders. But remember, he kept saying, South Carolina is going to be my firewall. And that's where we come in. Wallah, if I had the power, Allah is indeed merciful, and indeed His knowledge is beyond our realm, and His capacity for patience is greater than I will ever hope to possess, because I would be striking people dead on sight, planes would be going down, houses would be spontaneously combusting, a lot of things would be going on, because one thing that I don't like is lack of principle, lack of conviction, evil, injustice, and unfairness. Any other time you would see me or catch me doing anything, I am the Christ child, second only to the baby Jesus. But you usually have the experience of seeing me in some state of uproar because of our existence, our station in this hellhole. So that doesn't come with the baby Jesus approach. It just doesn't. This is what it is. And there I saw, once again, coming to life, what you all know I know, and you know, and I've talked to you about. I've told you that it's us that's holding us back too. We are the conduit, the conductor of white supremacy upon our people, and can be counted on for it. Elijah Cummins, Elijah, I always get his name, Elijah, I think his name's Elijah. He passed away. May Allah rest his soul. John somebody died right after him. John Lewis could be on his way out. We don't know. All right. He has stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and may Allah protect him. But then there's James Clyburn, who is apparently some kingmaker in South Carolina. This again, how you gonna be the main dude? All these white people on TV talking about, James Clyburn. He's like the impresario of South Carolina. He's highly respected. He's the kingmaker and all that. Well, if you all of that, then you go and be that yourself. You go and be that. If I'm Simone Biles, is that the number one gymnast sister? Simone Biles. Am I saying her name right, y'all? Anyway, if I'm her, why am I giving the gold to some other heifer? Why would I do that? Why? Thank you, Libera. I wouldn't. I'm the gold medalist, or Serena Williams. I'm the number one athlete. I don't need to why do I need to make you the king? If you got all that much respect from your own people, then you take that power and run with it in the interest of your people. But there's James Clyburn's black ass. South Carolina, people of South Carolina, South Carolina, and I cannot stand the sight of him. I wish him off the earth. I pray for it. And all who would stand in the way of our progress. I watched, this is the one thing, I'm going to be all over the place, y'all, because I'm just going to be all over the place. Now, you have to watch everything from now at least until next week. I need you to I always tell you, and this is just being consistent, I always tell you, you have to pay attention to what's going on in this society, everybody. You have to. And that you have to cast yourself as a third-party observer. You are not part of this. You are not part of this. You are leftover, unwanted cargo. That's what you are. That's what you are. And any time that you have to fill out anything where they ask race, you are to write in stolen African, because that's what I do. That's what I do. Some census people were at my house a couple weeks ago. I was going out to get the mail, and there they were. And Latinos. And I said, can I help you all? And they're like, oh, we're doing the census and this, that. And it was like, what nationality are you? I said, I need you to write down stolen African if you're going to write down anything. You write stolen African and nothing else. That's what you write down. That's what you write down. Of course, they looked at me in awe and all of it. But they wrote stolen African. So you're not part of this. But you need to be paying attention, because just because you're not on an airplane, you still need to know if one's coming to hit you. You see, you may not be on the train, but if you're crossing the tracks, you need to be looking to see, is there a train coming? This is that. So you must, especially if you're going to be somebody that's following me and listening to me, I need you to be in a certain place, everybody. That's why I'm even here. That's why I exist. That's why I even do videos and why I'm even on YouTube. I'm not here for your entertainment. When I ask you and tell you to do something, it's for your good. You must do this. You must. Because you need to see the inner workings of what's going on in the society. And you need to be clear so that you have a clear understanding. When I say to you, all skin folk and kinfolk, you will feel that in your heart in a testimonial way that cannot be compromised at all. So there they were. They were already massaging black folks who cannot think for themselves. In my last video, I described to you the undecided white bitch. There she is, undecided. Really? Undecided. Wow. And as I told you guys, when I hear that word, it triggers me. I shouldn't use it. I shouldn't use it. I trigger when I hear that. And if I hear it from our people, where's my punch? I knew I would need my punch. I knew it. Anyways, there is no undecided. If you are a conscious African person, there's no scenario under any political cycle in which you would be undecided. I know who I am. I know where I am. I know the context in which I exist in this throne of the devil. It's like if you've been starving in the desert for a month and a half. Nothing. You couldn't even find earthworms to eat. And somebody comes up to you and says, what do you want? I'm undecided. Really? Because it seems to me, the first thing out of your mouth would be, I need food. That's what I need. I need food. and water. Not, I'm undecided. It triggers me. But there were the black people. I'm still undecided. And then there was this one, they had these four people sitting up there who don't represent us. And ironically, every single so-called town hall that I saw in South Carolina, remember, it was all about the black vote. It's the black vote. It's the black vote. We're going to have to import the continent of Africa. It's so important for that black vote that we'll just have to traffic in a bunch of black people right now. That's how critical the black vote was. But alas, you had black people that they were sitting up talking to and nobody black in the audience. In Charlotte, South Carolina. If I'm getting, yeah, Charlotte. Something, South Carolina. Where it's all about the black vote, I remind you. But yet, no black people except for the ones they were talking to. Then they had the debate. White people all in the audience. In South Carolina. Then they had the town halls, where they'd have one candidate come out and talk for an hour, and then another one would come out and somebody else interview them, and another one come out. South Carolina, nobody black in the audience. And the one or two or three black people that they had that asked questions, they were the only ones that were. But this, where if this is all about the black vote, where was all the thanks, Lightbearer? Where were all the black people? It's so about the black vote. Well, where were they? Where were they? This is two dimensions that I want to point out for you in this piece. Inshallah, we will get through the entire thing. Thumbs up, everybody. Thumbs up. That helps the visibility of the live stream. That's the cost of being here. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Yes, good point. As my eyesight fails me. Das Nuksta. Das Nuksta. Das Nuksta. Yeah, and I heard that the little Oompa Loompa Bloomberg had the audience stacked with people, you know, so that they would clap and yell and make it seem like he had more sort of joie de vivre than he had, you know, and he didn't. Good morning to SN. And also you, Dasnuksta. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Comp God. Street cred. Good one, Lightbearer. Yeah, makes it seem like he had more street cred. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Carlos. Good morning. Carlos says, we cannot trust these old niggas. They haven't built anything for us and led us into a burning building. They have given in to white supremacy. They are useless. You are so right. Which leads me, and since you mentioned that too, Carlos, I want to say this. One of my brothers and I, Kai and I were on the phone the other night, or one day. Today is Tuesday, few nights ago, and I was telling him about an inspiration that had just come to me that day, that we've been known by 5-letter words the entire time. Nigga, slave, Negro, and he pointed out that also the word Jesus is five letters. There was another one. But what the universe gave me after that, I know that the number 7 is powerful. Allah says to us that there are 7 heavens. We know that during the month of Ramadan, that Allah says to us that He has chained the 7 doors of hell. All right? The opening surah of the Quran, known as Fatiha, has 7 verses. The number 7 is very powerful, everybody. It's very powerful and significant. I've told you that the Quran, just before you even read anything about it, its layout is a miracle. But why I cite the number 7 now is because how many letters are in the word African? I will wait. I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry? I'm sorry? I'm sorry? Huh? There's 7 letters in the word African. I never refer to myself by anything other than African. We are Africans, do you understand? Period. There's power even in the very word itself, just on its numeric property. So I needed to mention that, but I want to digress back. So they began massaging. It's all about the black vote. You'll recall that back in 2007, leading into the 2008 election of Barack Obama, Michelle, the Queen of Angels, kept saying to us on the campaign trail, she said, the shifting and moving bar, she kept saying, the shifting and moving bar. What she was saying then, she was not only talking about the campaign, but she was talking about the predicament of us in general. How it's always the shifting and moving bar. But we all know that, and so she was applying it to the campaign of Barack. Because first the rules were one thing, now when he reaches that, then it's a different standard. Oh, well, he can do it, so now it's something, it's the shifting and moving bar, she called it. So this is what we see now. First, it was Bernie can't get any support. Then he got the support. Well, he won't be able to raise money. Then he raised money. Well, it's about those first states, Iowa and New Hampshire. They're very conservative, and they like to kick the tires on their candidate, and they really have to. You have to be able to. And then he wins Iowa. Forget what the little alphabet said. Who, by the glory of Allah, is finally out of the race. Allahu Akbar. I prayed for that. I prayed for that. It gave me no greater joy than to see his little twit ass get on that stage and say he was out of the race. I felt my blood pressure go down at least a couple measures just on that. But then Bernie wins Iowa. Well, he didn't increase it from 2016. Well, in 2016 he was running against one evil ass bitch. This time there's just 20 people in the damn field. So how's he going to get the same as he got in 2016? Then he wins New Hampshire. Well, he didn't win it by big enough. And he still didn't increase with the young people, which he increased by 30%. But no. Well, he still hasn't proven that he can get those diverse voters, like African Americans and Latinos. Boom, Bernie shows up in Nevada, wins every freaking thing in every category across the board. Well, that was Nevada, and it was mostly the Latinos, when originally they said he won't win the Latinos because they're against Medicare for all. When all of their union members were saying, forget what the leadership is saying, we know we need Medicare for all. And they went their asses right and voted for Bernie Sanders, as they should have, delivering him a landslide victory. But you see the contrast. Joe Biden wins nothing in Iowa, nothing in New Hampshire, nothing in Nevada, a squeaky, far distant second. He doesn't get a bunch of delegates. And then he shows up in South Carolina, and suddenly it's all about South Carolina. It's all about South Carolina. It's just always been about South Carolina and the black vote, because apparently we rule the earth. As I've said to you, we must be the majority in this country, because the things that I've been saying since 2014 on this platform is the same thing Malcolm was saying back in the 1950s. 1950s and 60s, when he was saying, he was saying we were the same percentage of the population as they claim we are still today. We ain't been doing no screwing. We ain't having no babies. When every third sister has got 2 or 3 children, the average female on the mother continent has an average of 4 children. At the very least, our women are fertile. Let us understand this. So they're lying about the numbers. Not to mention, and we're able to still absorb as many of our women who die in childbirth, and as many of us are killed by gang violence, and as many of us are killed by police terror, and as many of us have been killed by lynching, and on and on and on, and we're still able to maintain our numbers somehow. So of course there's more of us than what they're saying. So they're real nervous about controlling that black vote. Quick, roll out James Clyburn's old bitch ass. Bring him out. You see? So, suddenly, Biden allegedly wins in South Carolina. And now, it's as if he never lost ever. By the way, this is the first primary he's ever won in his entire political career. Do you hear what I just said to you? And this is his 3rd time running for president. Huh? He only made it to the White House